Hello and welcome. This is Julie Silver Stitches here on FlossTube and on Instagram. How's everybody doing? This is Simon's head. Maybe he will move, maybe he won't move. And welcome to my FlossTube channel. This is a FlossTube channel about cross stitch. And let's get started because we have a lot to go over today. I decided to film on Saturday, December 20th, 2025, because I wanted to film my WIP parade, my active WIP parade, plus my 2026 plans. Some of you might know that a couple weeks ago I gave my 2026 plans with the list of projects that I wanted to bring into the new year. I gave them all away to Tess Stitches. She lives in Australia. We're going to be starting a WIP Wars together in January. And so that's exciting, but I wanted to do a little bit more than just WIP Wars. So let me tell you how I decided I wanted to do this. I was going to wait until January to figure out all of the projects, but then curiosity, that's what it was. That's all it is. So welcome. If you haven't been here before, let's go through this together because I know the first project on each of the tabs, but past that, I don't know anything. So I'll go through the we're going to do five different things that I'm going to focus on for 2026. As of right now, all of the projects, I know what they all are, but I don't know where any of them are placed except for 4 of them. So, not even. Maybe just 3 of them. So, here we go. Let's start out with explaining what temperature stitching is. But before I do that, I'm going to fix this thing in the curtain, so just hold on a second. That was weird. It like paused itself or stopped itself or something. Anyway, 10 different paper WIPs for the temperature WIPs. So if you don't know what it is, the temperature stitching is 5 charts, 3 charts, 10 charts, however many charts you want to have. And you designate a temperature to that chart. So let's say the temperature for the day is, let's say today, I don't know what it is today, but I think it might be -4. So you would take the number 4, you would put however many stitches into it, but I have chosen this year to do a daily 30 kind of thing on it because they are my paper charts. Some of them I might love, some of them they might be ones that I just need, that I just want to get finished. So make yourself comfortable just like Simon, and here we go. So I'm going to I got her to send me all of the charts, all of the descriptions, but at the same point to wipe them out so that I didn't know exactly what it was going to be until I decided to unlock them all. And like I said, curiosity just got the better of me today. And here we go. So I think I might be posting this on Sunday. It depends on how much editing I have to do because it is like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So the sun is going to go down probably in about an hour or an hour and a half because it is the longest. Tomorrow is the longest night of the year. Today is the longest night of the year. I think it's tomorrow. But anyways, one of the longest nights of the year is tonight. So, let's get started. I don't have any extra lighting, so this is what it's going to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Excel sheet that I made for her. I'm going to highlight everything and say font color black. Okay, so I'm going to pause and get all of the designs for you, all of the WIPs for you. Hold, please. Okay, so we're back. Enough time that we switched cats, and let's keep going. So we have one cat here watching out the window, one cat here looking out the window, and one cat over here looking out the window. So, as you can see, no yellow bag. The yellow bag is now in this bin. So, progress. If you know, you know. Okay, so temperature WIPs. Let's do this. So, if the temperature ends in 0, it's going to be Cozy Winter Mugs. Cozy Winter Mugs is by KEB Studio Creations and comes out of this Just Cross Stitch magazine. It is February 2023. Yep. And it's going to look like this. I'm pretty sure I am doing this on a 14 count. You'd think I would have just pulled everything out all at once. Okay. The fabric is here somewhere. I know it is. There it is. A 14 count fiddler's cloth. In oatmeal, I guess. I'm using Roxy Floss Co. threads, and this is where we are. So I'm not doing before and after pictures because I have no idea. So, yeah, that's where we are. This is where Cozy Winter Mugs is going into January 2026. So I am going to wait out and stitch on whatever I want, aka all my new projects that I've started. Nothing old until the end of the year now, because that just makes most sense. None of those, at least as far as I know, none of the ones that I have started in the last 5 days have made it onto this list. So, but anything is possible. So that was 0 for Cozy Winter Mugs. And all of my all of my temperature stitches are going to go all into one folder. And the one folder is going to be this one, because everything, I think, will fit in here. All 10 projects. Alright, so the next one up for number 1, ending in number 1, is Tired Trio. That's by Plum Street Samplers. I'm doing it on a 32 count, 2 over 2 ivory even weave, and it still says it. Hold on, I will confirm. I'm using a mixture of different threads, all DMC. Close. 28 count Lugana ivory. Anyways, I tried. Okay, I didn't think it was 32, but anything's possible. Alright, so I still have a massive piece of fabric for this little piece of cross stitch. So here we go. I have now finished all of the sloths, and I just need to do faces, that's all. So, as you can see via the picture, I just have the foliage and the flowers down at the bottom, and then this will be done. So, my plan for the temperature stitches is 30 minutes a day. So maybe when I wake up, 30 minutes, get it over with, see what the current temperature is. Current temperature? I have yet to decide. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but could be, I think it's going to be predicted. Predicted temperature, maybe, I don't know. We'll have to go from where we go from. I do not know yet. I haven't thought that far ahead. Alright, so that was part... it fell asleep. It fell asleep. Hello, wake up. Hello. Okay, so tablet fell asleep. That's what happened. Okay, so Celestial Gathering. So that was for number 1. Celestial Gathering is for number 2. This is my current oldest work in progress. Old. Old is like old. Old is like 2016 or before old. So old. These ones more current, but that one old. All right. And that is this. That is not this. That is not this either. I have it. Yeah. I don't have a cover photo anymore. This is Charlotte. You don't get to see her a lot. She doesn't really do much on camera, but ta-da. So this is Celestial Gathering. It's a Dimensions kit. And like I said, it's my oldest WIP. She's going to jump down. And I don't really have a board, but I guess I will use the back of the bag. And I'm so close to finishing, but I'm not close at all because here's where this one is at. Currently, I'm working on that moon. Oh, and here comes Simon. So, yes, oldest WIP. Partially stitched back, and then partially stitched recently, but both need to be finished. This is now Simon in the bin. This bin has laundry in it, or clothing in it, and or blankets, I think, really. And so they've all of them have taken turns sitting in the bin, because it's the new favorite hotspot of comfortableness, I guess. All right, So Busy is for number 3. So Busy is another Dimensions kit, and I just put everything in a pile here. I didn't exactly put it in order. So Busy is a Dimensions kit. That's what this is going to look like. It is designed by Ellen Jarecki. And yeah, this is for number 3. So Busy is on a, I'm pretty sure, well, it would say, right? 16 count, 14 count, 18 count white Aida. Oh boy. 2/1, or however it is called. 4. And this is also almost as old as Celestial Gathering, but not quite. So this is where we're at for this one. I am currently working down in this mouse. He is using a pair of scissors to cut up a... He is not. He is using a needle and thread to sew up a shirt, is what he's doing. This guy down here. Okay, so the next one is also an older chart. It was the Leo and Roxy at the time. The Leo and Roxy Flossco plus Evertote collaboration plus Modern Folk Embroidery collaboration. All hosted from Evertote in London, Ontario, Canada. It is the Moonshine Cabin. This one is done on a 28 count of dark fabric. Can't tell you the answer because I don't remember. Something like... Nope, I don't even remember. Anyway, it was a kit. It was a holiday... It was their first holiday kit, actually, I think. And here we go. So this is 2/2. in the, at the time, Leo and Roxy colors. It's now Roxy Floss Co. colors. So right now I'm just working on the house. Everything I need is in here. Skitters just tried to get in the bin. At least it wasn't Charlotte, because she would hiss at him if that was the case. So let's see if this will continue to be able to be stuffed with the rest of the projects. Who knows? It's going to be one. Whoopsies. One stuffed bag. That's okay though, because, you know, it's okay. Alright, the next one, we're going to put that in front. Okay, the next one is scroll. So that was for number 4. So number 5 is Sing a Sampler. And Sing a Sampler is from Silver Creek Samplers. I had already finished this one. So I finished section 1. So 1 of 4. Now I'm on 2 of 4. I'm still working on me. So this was the first chart. This is now chart number 2. I'm working on me still. Get it out of the glare. All of the words on the bottom, I think, are finished. I think. For this section at least. I do have part 3 and 4. I do have enough fabric. Some of the words are finished at the bottom. Not all the way across, because I haven't gotten there yet. So, do, re, mi, I put my name in. If you have done this chart, or if you know what is different with my name and the grass, just let it go, because I've decided that it's okay. They were supposed to be reversed. Oh, and there's Skitters. Hello, Skitters. I'm just waiting for somebody to jump onto this box that is angled. I did not know it was angled. Anyway, this is in a mixture of DMC, Gentle Arts, and Roxy, and I think I have 1 week's in there. A mixture of everything, because why not? Alright, so that was for number 5. So number 6 is Floxbox, and Floxbox, oh man, sorry, forgot the charts. Okay, so Floxbox is by Ink Circles. I found this pattern in a cross stitch and needlework magazine from 94, I think. I will double check right now. 92, 94, some kind of something like that. $2012, whatever. Okay, so here is Floxbox, and I am using a variegated thread for it from DMC, and I already know that I'm going to need to frog out some extra stitches that are in the middle of this fabric, because I started something and then decided to not continue on with it. So here we are on the bottom. I started on the bottom, and this is where we are. So for all of these, I will add 30 minutes to each given project a day. So that was number 6. Number 7, you all haven't seen in a very long time. I might need to find a different bag for this, because this is filling up fast and I still have 3 more. Oh boy. Yeah, maybe a different bag. Okay. Okay, so this is Peacock. Peacock is by Mill Hill. This should be exciting because it's on a 28 count something or other linen, which is not for Julie. So This is Peacock. I got it a while ago. It is, it says, have only one rule, be your wild, courageous, brilliant self every single day, no matter what. At the time when I had started this, I was not, still I'm not, but I was not a proficient stitcher, prolific stitcher, stitcher, like I am now. Experienced? Let's go with that word. Okay, so I've gotten a lot of it relatively done. I was getting hung up on the tone on tone, essentially. Can you see that tone on tone? Those are all snowflakes. Oh my goodness. Anyway, and then I was starting to work all the way over for that border, and then I started in on the peacock feathers because why not? If you can hear James, he's in the background. He's talking to somebody, although I don't know who it is. I think. I hear him at least, and he doesn't normally talk to himself, so there's that. Alright, so that was number 7. Number 8 is Buttercup by Nora Corbett. Like I said, these are all a surprise. So these last 2 were, of course they're on the list. Okay, so Buttercup by Nora Corbett is one of the, she has a name. I will find it out for you in just a second. Okay, she is part of the oh man, of course I didn't throw her back away in the thing like I was supposed to. Okay, she is part of the Blossom collection, the Pixie Blossom collection. This is her. When I first saw her, it was I don't know, I just really liked her. Okay, I decided I think I'm doing this on like a 16 count like pewter or something, Ada, and you'd think I'd know where this is all going so far. I added some stitches going this way. No, I think it goes this way. This way. This is where we're at. So all those spaces in there for beads. I'm going color by color, although I have no game plan going forwards for this because I don't really know. That's how often I work on it. Or enjoy working on it. I did want to see it finished. That was the whole thing about all of the ones that I'm bringing into 2026. I wanted to see them finished regardless of whether or not I enjoyed working on them or not. I know I want to see them completed. Alright, last one for now is Savannah's Curtsy. This is number 9. And number 9 is also a Mirabilia. Yeah, this bag, it's not going to make it. That's okay. Okay, so Savannah's Curtsy by Mirabilia. Along the top there it says welcome. And this is, whoa, that was a big jump. Charlotte definitely decided to jump all the way over Skitters. Okay. We are going this way. So, the reason why I decided that I wanted to count time, not stitches, for the temperature is because they are all paper copies. Some of them are hard to figure out on the chart, so if I'm spending all my time doing that and counting, then I'm not getting any stitching done. So that's why. I have made a working copy for this because, as you know, if you've been watching me for a while, I did start that over because back in the day my stitches were all 3/2 and 1/3, and you know, the whole, anything that could have been. So this even though it's going to get a new bag, is temperature stitching. So 10 projects, 0 to 9, whatever the last digit of the day is, that's what I'm going to stitch on for 30 minutes. All right, I will see you in the next section when I figure it out. Hold on. Okay, so the next one was the reasoning why I got Tess to try and figure out everything for me, because it was kind of the fun, but now I just kind of want to know. So if you follow along Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on FlossTube, she has come out with a new game that she's been testing the waters for over the last couple of months. It's called Milestone Manor. And the premise of it is you have to navigate your way through a property, through a house, through wherever. I chose my apartment building, but you can choose whatever you want. And try to defeat the project, the monster, the whatever that is inside that room, that specific room. She is doing rooms of her house, so before she moves on, she has to roll some dice and figure out the amount of stitches that need to be on the piece before it. She explains it way better. Go watch her. There's character sheets and hit points and, all of those stuff. So I might try and do all of that if I can figure it out, but who knows. But these are the projects that I will be working on at the beginning, because my apartment is my home base. So after you go through all of the things and stitch all of the things, and you run out of life, mana points, whatever, you're going to have to go back to your home base. Otherwise, you have no more energy to go around everywhere else. So it's all about hitting milestones, Milestone Manor. And like I said, if you have any interest at all, go check out Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on FlossTube, because she just put out an explanation video of the whole thing. She was test stitching it for a very long time, and she figured out all of the, pros and cons and whatever about all of the whole thing. And now she has released it to the world. Okay, so I am only this is still going to be a surprise. So the only stipulation that I gave to Tess was any digital WIP that was listed already on a specific list that I gave her. I want to see the most project in these WIPs, so this is why I chose these projects. But I am only going to start with my apartment, because I do want it to be a surprise when I expand. So continue following me throughout the whole time, the time I play this game, and we'll see how that goes of what WIPs I am going to be working on next. So my first WIP is in the box. Didn't get it out because I didn't press pause, but I saw it. It is Pokemon starters. That's what this is going to look like. You can take a look at what it's going to look like while I try to find it. Here it is. I was going to try to figure out the I don't know what I was going to try and figure out. Anyways, my first defeating thing, my first goal, my first milestone that I want to hit for any of these projects, any of them, is to get to the next 1,000. So, as we speak, I think, so this is Pokemon Starters. It's by Cross and Floss. This is my home base, my apartment, my home base starting point for every time I run out of energy every time, anytime also a project reaches all of its milestones that I have set out for it. The first time I do this, though, I'm going to try, like I said, for any of the projects to work to the next 1,000. So I'm going to make that my focus project for the week, or however long it's going to take me, or the few days, or the whatever it may be, just so that we go from there. So this is, after 3 minutes of talking and me not showing, this is where we're at for Pokemon starters. Right now I am working on Grokey over here. And I don't have any percentages because they're all on my phone and not on my tablet. So check in on my next update video, which should be tomorrow, because I already know that I'm not going to show all my WIPs. So this is at least a plans video for next year, not necessarily WIP parade, but most of my WIPs are here. So anyway, this is Pokemon Starters by Cross and Floss on Etsy. It is still available. This is also going to go in its own separate project bag, because all of these projects, I think there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 plus 10, 17 different WIPs. So that's that. I'm going to come back for the trains game. I don't know where I'm going to put this. No idea. We'll just put it in this one. Okay, so, or we don't have to come back for the trains game. We can just announce the trains game right now. We are just going to make this one as font color black. So starting January 1st, I'm going to roll some dice and figure out how many stitches need to go into that project before I can move on to be able to open the door and go out into my hallway. Okay, so train game. Here we go, train game. So this is also digital WIPs. I told her that she could do some crossover if needed, or if wanted, or whatever. So let's see what's going on here. I don't have any fancy... Nope. Black. Okay, so I'm going to collect all of these things. There are 8 different projects, but first I'm going to explain it. So, this game I created, it is based off of Ticket to Ride. I am going to be starting a round of it in January in the Siski Stitches group, Facebook group. So if you want to play along, you can join her group. I'll link her below. And she talks about it all the time. You can go visit her Facebook group, answer some questions, and play along there. I'll also be announcing all of my numbers here every Sunday. So, okay, so the premise is there are 8 different colored trains. So there's 8 different WIPs. Actually, I have the cards right here so I can explain it. So there's 8 trains. This one is the purple one, but 8 different colors. And then there are also destination cards. And even though this one is, from here to here, I'm just looking at this number down here. So if I pull the black card and I pull number 10, then I'm stitching 100. Sorry, I feel like children are running through the hallways of my apartment building. If you hear, I don't know. So, black train, 100 stitches, because all of these cards would be multiplied by 10. it ranges anywhere from 3 to 10. So that's the deal. So it's not a lot of stitches on the projects, but it's going to be constant progress. So I'm going to go collect all of those and get them ready, and I will be right back. Okay, so Simon is back, and here we go. So let's start out with the black train. I went in the colors of the alphabet, meaning I went in alphabetical order. That's what it means. Okay, so this happens to be also not alphabetical order, but it is what it is. This is Autumn Fairies. It is a freebie that was from Karen Middleton of Heaven and Earth Design. It was an old freebie, and again, I don't know the percentages, but I have been doing a lot of work on it this year. I've mostly been filling in the top part and working my way down the side, the left-hand side. And here comes Skitters to interrupt Simon. So, can't wait for that. I brought all over my project bags, and now I don't really know what I want to do with all of these. Okay, so Sleepy Turtle is next for the blue train. So anytime that the blue train gets called for the amount of stitches, this is Sleepy Turtle. It is the design is by Tammy Blevins I found her on Facebook. So what I did is I took that image and I put it in Pick to Pat, which is a program that can change a picture into a cross-stitch design, and I uploaded it, and this is what it came out with. Realized it was too dark, and then so I upped all of the brightness, and so you might see a fight. So that's what happened. It came out with this, and then I cropped a little bit off the sides because it was too big for the fabric that I was using. This is a red 14 count Aida, and I don't have any stats for you, but this is where I'm at. Just over 500, maybe 600 by now. Maybe this is 500. I don't remember. But top left corner start, 2 over 1 on a 14 count piece of red Aida, and they're in the box together. So here we go. Good luck. All right. I was working on this for the last 2 days. Oh, geez. Skitters one. Okay. I was working on this next piece for the green chain for the last 2 days. Trying to get the row finished, and I did it. So this will be part of my WIP update, weekly update tomorrow. But since it's here now, I shall show you. This is Mini Dragon in the Morning by Randall Spangler. It is a Heaven and Earth design. It is still up there if you would like to go get it. And here we go. This is the whole row. So this is 16,275 stitches. 15 point something percent. I don't remember the points. I'll write all of this information down at the bottom. If I get a chance, if I'm able to unfold this fabric. So for the longest time you've been seeing me work on this all the way across. I finally was able to focus and get this part over here finished. So this is all filled in. The reason why it's not 16,250 is because this over here is already starting. I've already started it on the second, or on the next row. Last time I was working on this edge, I had a new plan of action before I decided to do what I was doing in the end. So this is the whole thing so far. 15.38, I think, or some kind of number like that. But the whole top column is done. I mean, the whole top 5 rows, 5 block rows. So, yippee! That's exciting. I wanted to go into 2026 with that goal accomplished, so that it's done. So I won't be taking this out again until January when this game starts, because I don't need to update this piece anymore because it's already done. Somebody, Lorna, was asking me how I kept my threads, my master set, but this is close enough. So I was able to get these plastic cards off of Amazon. And these ones, they're upside down, but these ones I just labeled the colors with a sticky. But for my master set, this blue one is one of them. I don't have all the colors on here, of course, because I'm missing some of the colors, but the DMC stickers. That's right way up. Nope. So the DMC stickers were stuck on, and I just cut them accordingly to as far as I can, get them sorted out without tangling or knotting while I am unraveling the skein, and snip them at the bottom and just pull them off one at a time. Or I pull a couple lengths of thread off and attach them to the current project. So I don't have the whole skein on the current project, but yes, master, there's 4 different colors. So I decided to do 4 different bags. The bags, while we're here, the bags look like this. So each color, I have a pink one, a blue one, a black one, and a red one. They're kind of mesh, kind of, what's that word? I feel like it's a fancy word. Anyway, see-through, breathable, meshy, kinda. Anyways, side note, that's that. So as I wrap all this back up and put it all away, that is what I do with my threads for storage, mostly. For the big projects, there are 3 big projects that are stored like this. This one, Watching the Worlds Go By, and the Beginner Seashell. So that goes in here. Okay, so next up is a new start, actually. Relatively new start. I didn't know if she had put any of these in here, but she did. So this is Cookies and Cocoa. It is one of the freebies that Stitches So Beautiful was giving away throughout the month of December. So what happens is I just lost her name. Stitches So Beautiful. Valerie, she posts one Christmas-oriented design that is no larger than 200 by 200 stitches in her Facebook group for 24 hours. And so for the first 25 days of December, what she is doing is posting one for 24 hours. Once she takes it off, she puts it on her website, and then you can purchase it from there, but it is what it is. This was one of the designs. It is called Cookies and Cocoa. I can't tell you the designer right now because, the artist right now because I don't have it here. But it goes like this. I showed it on my last update, but this is the starting point. Actually, I was going to work on this, but I have something else I'm going to work on for the rest of the year because these are all waiting for me in their specific bag going forward. So that is Simon, if you can hear him. He is, I don't know, just wandering around, calling for somebody who knows. Okay, the next one is Fractal Bookmark 53. This is a full coverage from the Cross Stitch collectible. You can get the square version of it on the website. This is just the bookmark version. It was a freebie a couple of years ago. And here's where we are. So it is going to be large because this is the same fabric that, I feel like it's the same fabric that Watching the World Go By is on. And so if I actually play with it and do all the things, it's going to get as large as that. So it's a large 14 count, if not 11. I'm not quite sure actually, because I thought it was 14, but anything's possible. This is where we're at now. So as of 2026, this is the starting point because, like I just said, I don't think I'm going to be working on any other of these WIPs that I am showing you now. Works in progress. Okay, so the next one was a new start not too long ago, still within, look, and somebody, can you see that? Somebody decided to rip open the bag. All right, the next one is, sorry, water or coffee? What are we doing here? Probably water, right, for a cough. Okay, maybe. Okay, so the next one is QS Red Maple Fairy. Sorry, I'm gonna cough. Okay, so QS Red Maple Fairy. This is a design from Heaven and Earth Design. It is, artist is Jasmine Beckett Griffith. This is the QS version, so the quick stitch, although it's really not going to be quick. This is on a, I'm presuming a, I don't know, a 20 count even weave of some kind. This is 2/1. Yeah, 2/1, and I'm going on the diagonal. Can't tell you any stats. I can probably tell them on the bottom, but yes, this was a summer start at one point. One point during the summer, probably like a Canada Day start since it's a Red Maple Fairy. The next one is another one that I'm looking to finish this year, 2026. So that was the thing. There was a list of projects that I said, these are the projects that I want to finish. Well, I don't actually know if I told her, but these are the projects that I want to finish in this year, kind of thing, in 2026. Here we go. So before I, get it all out first, this is Mini Beginner Seashell. This is by Kayomi Harai of Heaven and Earth Design. It is a mini and it is quite small. It is little. I am sure this original pattern is called just Seashell. The beginner, I think, is part of the making it small, and then the mini is also making it small. So Mini Beginner Seashell. So fun fact, the bottom corner there of the diagonal, there is one more diagonal and then we're going across the bottom. So as you can see in this piece specifically, there's a couple pieces, but in this piece you can kind of see different stitching types, different stitching methods. So what I've done is I started this piece out in 2023. I'm pretty sure. Fall 2023, maybe 2022. I might have all my dates mixed up, but it was the fall. It was Labor Day. Anyways, and so I started out Royal Rose. So what Royal Rose is you take 2 blocks at a time in the column, stitch that whole block, and then park your threads. So park your threads either going to the right or park your threads going down. And so when I had started this, I had started only I started with a block of 10, so I was considered a rebel stitcher, because it's supposed to be 2 blocks, but whatever. And so that was that. I did the whole row Royal Rose. I think I might have started the next row Royal Rose. this is Simon, decided that it wasn't working anymore because I was starting to see, you can start to see the lines, right? And so I switched it up. I don't really remember what I did, but I finished the rest, I think maybe just color completing all the way across. I did that for a long time. And then I went I might have started Royal Rose again, coming down here. And then what had happened is I decided I wanted to start stitching on the diagonal because that was the latest, I guess, craze to do. So as you can see, I can see 10 by 10 rows over here of diagonal stitching. And then I was color completing the rest of that row because I didn't want to diagonal stitch anymore because, again, you could see the lines. And so now with this diagonal, though, because I've been doing fill in, I've been doing, stitching, color completing. So all these rows are all diagonals coming down here, but at the same point, I don't know what I was going to say. So that's that. The cats are being ridiculously cute, so I hope that you can all enjoy the show while I'm stumbling along with my words. Okay, so that was Beginner Seashell. This was one of the ones that I would want done this upcoming year because it's been on the radar. It says it's going to be probably later in the year, but I'm ready to be finished because as far as I know, it's something at like 56 or 58% right now. Yes, Simon, I know. What's on the wall? What are you... Anyways. Oh boy. There's also a cat house right there, so that's what he just flopped down on. So, almost 60%. So, I told Lorna, a random stitcher, that as soon as I get this piece to 60%, and as soon as she gets one of her pieces finished, then we'll move on to a new start. But I will talk about that when it happens because I don't know when that's happening. So we were thinking January, but who knows? Okay, so the last... so I haven't been telling you the colors of the trains, but I don't think that really matters to you. So that was the white train. The yellow train is Sunflower Cottage. This is mini Sunflower Cottage. This is a chart by Heaven and Earth Designs. The artist is Donna Gelsinger. And here we go. So, ta-da. I've cut it this way, but I have not cut it this way yet. So I should be able to get another project out of this once I cut it down. But here is where we're at right now. I had started this one in February of this year because that is when I found out that I was diagnosed with cancer. And I wasn't really able to think on anything else, but I knew I needed to stitch to keep my mind busy. So this primarily is all one color. Almost. All that blue is almost all one color, and so it was a good block stitching, mindless stitching. Just had a little bit follow the pattern, and just to see where I was going, and that helped me quite a lot. So most of those stitches were done between February and the end of March this year. So every time I work on it now, that's what's going on in my head. Okay, so, and plus the sunflower is the hidden disability symbol, if that makes sense. It's the representation, the whatever, for having a hidden disability. So that is prevalent in our house, so it it's with us every single day. So I have one more thing, and my tablet just fell asleep again, and it's getting darker outside, but that's fine. One more thing to go through, that is WIP Go. So again, this is a Jessie Marie creation, brainchild, whatever you want to say, where she calls 2 numbers or 3 numbers, depending on the number, per month, all year long. So each month gets 2 numbers. You designate a stitch time or a stitch count or a part of the project or a theme of the project or whatever you want it to be. It's grown so much over the last few years that there are so many different ideas on how to do WIP Go. So let's try and see what that is going to look like for 2026. I have tried to do WIP Go in the past. I think I start every single year, and every single year it fails. So this year I decided that it could be, what were my parameters? Paper charts, 2 weeks, daily focus, and based on time. So as long as I pick it up that day, doesn't have to have 30 minutes, doesn't have to have 200 stitches, doesn't need to have any of that. Just as long as I pick it up and work on it every day for 2 weeks. That is how I'm going to pass or block out that number. So let's go. Let's do this, and then we do this, and then we go. Font color is black. Okay. We do have some repeats from temperature stitching. So what might happen, a lot of repeats from temperature stitching. So what might happen is I'll just pull the new ones, but I'll talk about everything. So, okay, I'll be right back. Okay, Simon has defeated all other cats in the box, and this is the last section of WIPs. We made it. Okay, so WIP Go. I realized that what Tess had done is put in some of the temperature stitching, which is fine, into here as well. So I'm going to show you the projects that are not temperature stitching, but I'll mention them ones that she put in, because there were 24 spaces, right? And she probably didn't have enough paper copied things, paper patterns. Anyways, life happens. So the first thing up, I don't have these numbered yet. I'm just going to go in order of, I don't know what, I'll just show you all the things. Because I didn't put any numbers in them and she didn't put any numbers in them, so I'd still have to then figure out how I want to label everything, but I'll at least show you the WIPs. So first up is Spring Cottage. This is by Alma Lynn Hayden out of the Seasonal Cottages book. It is this one right here, and it's on a 14 count. I'm pretty sure I got this from a kit, but it's a 14 count Ada, and the top half is done. I'm not doing the clouds up there because white on this creamy white color is not happening, so that's that. Last time I worked on it, I worked on that roof of the roof of the shingles, or whatever those are called, that the black back stitching of the roof. That's what I did last, and so I was very happy about that. I was super excited because I didn't want to do that anymore. I was past that situation. So that is that. The next one is the North Wind. This one comes out of Cross Stitch 2024, just Cross Stitch 2024 Christmas. I am doing this for one of my friends, even though she doesn't know, so maybe next year. I'm doing, you don't actually know the project I'm working on yet, so hold on. I was just going to show you the whole thing. Okay, so, The North Wind is by the Witch's Garden, by Witch's Garden Crafts. I am doing it on a blue, no, I'm not doing it on blue, I'm doing it on a dark green Ada, 14 count. It's essentially, and I've put up all, I'm using mostly called for DMC, and if I probably pushed myself, I'm gonna wait till next year, but if I wasn't going to, then I could probably push myself to finish this by Christmas, but that's not the plan anymore. So all of the words on this half of the design are done. I still have a little bit of wind and snowflakes to go down on the bottom, but I have lots down there. So, and I think this is the top, so hooray. That's 3 out of the however many houses there are. She said she wanted a Christmas village, and although I'm not going to get her individualized pieces, I figured a Christmas scene, or a winter scene at least, would be great eventually. Apparently not right now. So this is another way that I put my colors on. I just used a random piece of cardstock from somewhere, punched holes in it, wrote down the numbers and the symbols, and called it a day. So they're not all on plastic bobbins or plastic floss cards. This one was from, I think, a Christmas present from last year that I had to take out of the box. Anyway, it's all good. All right. So that's another one on the WIP Go board. The next one that I see on the WIP board is Pedigree of Honey. Nope, I know I pulled it. Okay, the Pedigree of Honey is by Sharon Pope. This one is out of a magazine as well, Stitcher's World. No idea what year, but out of Stitcher's World, so it was an older magazine. I haven't really done a lot of work on it. I don't have a color card for it yet, like the floss card for it yet, but that's how far we have on that. So I started with the bee skip beehive in the middle, and then added one of the vases. And that's where we're at for that one. So I'm glad that I've added some that are in the beginning stages. I'm glad that some of these projects are at the ending stages, in the middle, just so it keeps life a little bit more interesting. Another one is Witch's Brew. Witch's Brew is from Mill Hill. I just literally pulled it out. Okay, Witch's Brew is from Mill Hill. So there's beads, there's stitches, there's back stitching, the whole 9 yards, and it is on a piece of perforated blackish bluish paper, and this is where we are right now. So her dress is all done, her hair is all done, the background's all done, this house is, I think, all done. That's all beads. Just the inside of the house needs to be finished. This floor, the ground is all done. I was working on the cauldron and the cauldron's goo, steam, whatever you want to call it, coming out. So flames, maybe, I don't know, whatever comes out the top. Anyway, so yes, that's another one. And then this one, while I show you all my different types of sorting floss, this one is on floss tags. These ones are from It's So Emma. and I just write the number and the symbol on the back with those sticky labels that I cut up. They're not that size. So I already know that I'm using all of these colors. So maybe I might have pulled them from my stash because they are DMC, so I don't remember, but those are the colors. And then I'm also excited for something else to be pulled out. Is A is for, it is from this book. This is A to Z Alphabets. Also by Sharon Pope, I think. Alma Hayden. No, it doesn't say on the back. It says it somewhere. I know it does. Actually, I think it says it on the actual design piece. Hold on. Da, da, da. You actually haven't seen the design piece yet, so Sharon Pope. So this is what it's going to look like. So it's literally an alphabet sampler. I started it a long time ago. But we'll see how it goes. It was never for anybody in specific, so it's not that. It's just I lost interest in it, and then I decided, why am I working on this, and who am I working on it for? Why am I don't want it? And now I want it because look how far I've gotten. I've done the whole border, all of the outlines of all of the boxes. So now what I can do is just go color by color. Letter by letter. Maybe I'll fill in the flowers on the bottom first before I go anywhere else so that the actual border is all done. So I'll zoom in. It's full crosses and backstitch and quarters and halves and 3/4 and all of the things. So that's that. I know you haven't seen that in a while. So that's why I'm excited that I decided to pull it back out for 2026. Not that I want to see it finished, but I know that I want to see it worked on. So that's where that is. And I keep going back to this and I keep thinking, I want this to work on. I want to work on it. But I was never able to put it in any of my plans that actually stuck. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Okay, so next in the pile that is not part of the... let's go in order. Okay, so next in the pile that is not part of... no, don't go to sleep. No. Okay, next in the pile that is part of WIP Go is Miss Goss Swallowtail. She is one of the she's one of the Butterfly Misses by Nora Corbett. One of the Butterfly Misses. Anyway, here she is in non-Ziploc bag. Again, I have lots of fabric for this one too because she's smaller. But here she is. So I am working on going line by line, mostly all the way down for her wing. The plan of action is I'm going to then, finish up the stitching for her body and her head. And then I'm going to move on to the other wing so it's not so similar, so I don't get super bored. There's not a lot of colors in this one, but it's enough to say a good introduction to the Nora Corbett world. Yeah. Sometimes I don't know how these things get folded. There we go. Okay, but I do have all of the colors, and sometimes they're just all stored like that, so it is what it is. I am very random on how I have the colors selected, and sometimes I just pull from the master set. It is what it is. Alright, okay, so the next one that is not anywhere else is oh, it was little, that's why. It's The Promise of Spring. This is by Cottage Garden Samplings. Yep. So it says hope. There is a robin. So the other thing that this is called is American Robin and Tulips. When I first started stitching this, I thought this was a boat. But I clearly see that it's just the ground or a like the bottom of a teapot. But then there's this little teeny tiny little house. Can't wait for that day. This is on a 14 count light blue Aida. And this is where we're at. Oh geez, I can just do this. Okay. Ba, 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 da, da, da. So it's massive, of course, because it's on 14 count. But it's looking good. That's just done in DMC, the called for DMCs. No, it's supposed to be in something else, but I'm using the DMC conversion that she gives, that she gives. All right, the next thing that is not part of anything else is Seahorses. Seahorses is by Mill Hill. It's a full coverage Mill Hill on 14 count Aida instead of the perforated paper. Last time I worked on this, I was getting lost, so we'll see how this goes. That's why we just pick it up and put some stitches in, regardless of where we are on the chart or how far along we are. So this is where we're at after many, many years of working on it. And I'm just doing a block by block diagonal for stitching. I had another friend ask me all of the different variations of how to stitch. How do you decide to stitch what to stitch? Or what is your stitching method? One of those. And it all depends on the piece that I'm working on. It all depends on how I'm feeling at the time, what's going on in the world, what the chart would look like, how I feel like I would be able to tackle the chart. That's how I stitch on it. What works best for different types of, is it block stitching? Is it confetti stitching? Confetti is like all the different colors in one space. So some people call them ninja stitches. Whoops, there's a fight. Some people call them, confetti. Anyway. Okay, next thing that you have not seen yet is Simple Gifts Christmas. I don't want to get in the middle of this fight because the boys. Oops, there goes the tail. Skitters eventually is going to win. Simon is eventually going to hop away, I think. That's my bet. But anyway, here is Praiseworthy Stitches, Simple Gifts Christmas. This is done on a 32 count piece of a fog by Picture This Plus. It's 2/2. And I think that's his leg. Little white leg sticking up in the air. Okay, so, yep, this, okay, bye Simon, bye! This is how far we've gotten. So, I'm working on the left 3 pages. There's 9 pages in total, so pages 2, 5, and 8 are done. And so now I'm working on page number 1, I guess. This is done in Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Arts. 3 different colors. But mostly Gentle Arts because that is the moss. Moss, something. Alright, there is only one thing left, I think, until it's all repeat stuff. 2 things. One thing left. Okay. The last thing, we made it to the end of what I'm going to show you today. The last thing is, now he doesn't know what to do. He's like, I was playing, what happened? Okay, the last thing is Snowman, which is a surprise. I didn't even remember putting this on, but I know I want to finish it, so hopefully in the 2-week span I'll be able to get it done, but who knows, right? Because life might be lifing in that month, and we might not be able to do anything, but, oh my, I didn't think that was going to happen. But this, I've got to find a good picture of it. There's like 15 pages to this one thing. Okay. There we go. I am stitching this little snowman dude out of this whole project. So this is, it is called Winter Sampler by Maria Diaz. And this little guy is the snowman I'm stitching. Partially because I started it as a 12 by 12 one New Year's Eve. And I didn't have enough fabric for the whole thing, but I knew that I wanted to do that snowman, so that's what happened. I tried to do a daily 30 kind of thing on it this December, and that failed. But this is where we're at, so this is where we're at for Snowman by Maria Diaz. I call him Snowman, but his full name is Winter Sampler. Found in some World of Cross Stitching magazine. That's all I can tell you. Anyway, yeah, so that was the last piece. Other things that are on the WIP Go board are The Moonshine Cabin by Modern Folk Embroidery, Floxbox by Ink Circles, Sing a Sampler by Silver Creek Sampler, Cozy Winter Mugs by KEB Studio Creations, So Busy by Dimensions, Savannah's Curtsy by Mirabilia. Is there anything else? Tired Trio by Plum Street Samplers, Peacock by Mill Hill. This is all like, it's can I remember? Buttercup by Nora Corbett, and Celestial Gathering had to make it in there. So some of them are doubled, so as you can tell, that's not 24 projects, but Tess did decide to double up on some of them, and which is great because then I'll get, 4 weeks to 6 weeks on some of them, depending on what it is. Simon is doing, I wish you could have seen that, he did a little wiggle bottom thing. Oh my goodness. Are you going to fight for your spot back? Maybe. Anything's possible. Yeah, so that's it for me for now. I'm going to try and upload this and edit and upload this to put up tonight. And if I don't do it tonight, then I will put it up tomorrow morning. But chances are it's going to be tonight because it's only, what time? Come on. Only almost 5 o'clock. So that took 2 hours. So I don't know how long this video is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to need to break it up into 2 because memory, I don't know, but if I did, then I'll have a little intro video in the second half because it wouldn't have made it all together, but otherwise, and I will make a little outro video for the first half, I guess. But if I am making this all into one, I hope you have a great rest of your week. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. I know that I'm going to be doing a video probably tomorrow with everything else that I worked on, which isn't quite a lot, but I still wanted to check in and say hi, maybe. We'll see how that goes. But, yeah. Merry Christmas, or if you're in the middle of celebrating Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. I know that it's pretty chill around here. Christmas activities are happening essentially for the next 2 weeks, so we'll see how that goes. I am glad Simon finally decided to just settle and not fight with his brother again, because that's just bananas when that happens. Sometimes there's a lot of swiping and a lot of wrestling and all of that stuff, but I guess not right now. He's decided that spending time outside of the magic box is good. So as for now, I will wish you all a great day. I hope that you enjoyed what you saw. If you did like what you saw and you're not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. Like or comment on the video on which project you're most excited to see progress on. And like I said during the Milestone Manor portion, stick around so that you can figure out what we're going to be working on, because it's going to be a surprise every time I go into a new area of my apartment building. So, sparkle and shine. Have a great rest of your week. I will see you on the next video, either tomorrow or January. I don't know if I'll be back before then, so I hope so. But if I'm not, then have a great new year as well. And I will be back the first Sunday in January. Sparkle and shine. Have a great day. I will see everybody later. Bye, everybody.